Not too long ago, Summer and I recorded a video on a chocolate scrambled egg creamy, and it was outstanding. So we will put a link to that down below in the comments. But this is a variation that we suggested, is doing a creme brulee version of that same scrambled egg creamy. So that's what I'm going to do today. And I know that I've seen a bunch of creme brulee ice cream recipes out there, and I don't know, to me they just look a little boring. They're kind of like a vanilla ice cream, and that's it. But I used to work at a 4-star ski resort for many years, and I made hundreds of creme brulees almost nightly, and I don't know, they're really good. So I'm going to try to sort of make this ice cream how I made the actual creme brulees, and we'll see how it turns out. I think it's going to be very good. So the recipe that we're going to do again is a scrambled egg recipe, so it's going to be very high protein, and it's a little strange, but it actually turns out very good, at least the chocolate version does. So I'm going to start by scrambling 6 eggs, and I'm just going to put them into a bowl. I'm going to do them, break them into a bowl, and I'm going to scramble them in the microwave. So that is step number 1. Okay, so the eggs are scrambled. Took a couple minutes in the microwave. I took them out about halfway through and mixed them up so they were all done evenly. If they're underdone a little bit, I think it's fine. I just kind of like to make sure they're scrambled all the way through. And then the recipe calls for a cup of milk. And the way I like to do my creme brulee is I like to steep a little orange peel, and if you have it, cinnamon stick and real vanilla bean, and I like to bring the milk up to scalding. I don't have cinnamon stick, but I'm going to put my orange peel and some spices in with, I think the recipe calls for a cup of milk. I'm going to use oat milk. You can use whatever milk you want, really. So, and it's not orange zest per se. You can just cut it in really big chunks because you're going to go ahead and pull that out when you're done. Just cut some big, huge pieces off of there. The flavor will come out as you cook it. And then I'm going to add some cinnamon, a little nutmeg, teeny tiny little bit of clove, and some vanilla. I'm going to put that on the stove to scalding, and we'll come back when that's done. I'm not sure yet my measurements, so I may or may not let you know. It's kind of going to be to taste. Okay, you want to bring it just to a scald. If you do over that and you boil it, it actually changes the chemical makeup of it. Okay, I've got everything steeped in the milk. I ended up using about a teaspoon of cinnamon, ground cinnamon, about a half a teaspoon of nutmeg, a dash of clove, and then after it was heated, I put in about a teaspoon of vanilla, and I used some of this vanilla paste and some regular vanilla. I'm also going to add a dash of salt now, just because it always helps flavors come out. Maybe a little more than that. And then I took the orange out. So now it's time to combine everything. So basically we have our eggs, our milk mixture, and sweetener, and that's going to be it for the ice cream base, hopefully. I went a little heavy on the spice. I went so what I thought tasted good, like creme brulee, on the milk, with just the milk, and then I kind of doubled it because it's going to get really diluted once we add the egg and then once we freeze it. So let's see, a little experimental here. Okay, here it goes. Sweetener, I'm going to use brown sugar. I think brown sugar tastes better. And we're going to go with sugar substitute. And we go with half a cup. That's what our previous chocolate recipe called for. So start with that. And I prefer to use an immersion blender to mix that all up. Let's go. It's definitely a thinner mixture than the chocolate, like without all the cocoa powder in it. Let's see how it tastes. And it looks a little curdly, like once it's mixed, but that should be fine. Okay, that's interesting. It does taste like custard. I think it tastes like creme brulee mixed. we'll just have to see how it tastes after we've frozen it for 24, and then we're gonna spin it and add our creme brulee topping. And just because it was fun and somebody gifted me one, I wore a tutu today to record. Okay, creme brulee creamy, go into the freezer. Here we are at 24 hours, so we're gonna give it a spin and see what we've got. It has some sort of weird sort of dual tone thing going on here, so hopefully it's ready to go. And since this one is mostly egg and we want this one like kind of really rich and thick, we're gonna do it on gelato. And I usually do full spin for the first one just in case there's anything that's sunk to the bottom. Make sure everything gets mixed in. Here we go. All right, much like its chocolate brother, this guy is totally powdery. The chocolate egg one, we usually spin like 3 times, like not even on respin, just 3 times regular spin. So I'm just gonna go ahead and spin this again on full gelato. Okay, after 3 full spins, I think we got a good texture. It's pretty thick, but I think another respin, I think will end up being too soft, more like a soft serve. It could have added like a tablespoon of oat milk or something to get it to go faster, but here at Ninja Creamy Adventures, we're more a fan of just sticking with your recipe and just, you know, spinning it properly. So first, I guess let's scoop this into our container. I'm gonna put a couple of big scoops here. Give it a try. Texture's good. It's a little too heavy on the spice. Remember, I went heavier on the spice at the last minute because I thought it was going to be diluted with all the egg and stuff. I would put less of the spice because it tastes sort of like, almost like pumpkin pie. I mean, it's good though. It's very good. But too heavy on the spice. I would definitely go less on the spice next time. So now, here is where it's really going to taste like creme brulee though. Like I said, I used to be a soup pastry chef and I used to make these a lot. So we're going to do this. It's not just going to be creme brulee flavored ice cream. We're actually going to burn the sugar on the top, just like a creme brulee. So I've flattened out the top, made it nice and smooth. And then, let's see, normally you might have a mixture. I like to do a mixture of white and brown sugar. And instead of pre-mixing it, I'm just going to sprinkle them both on the top. And we are using the Swerve brown sugar substitute because the white sugar I think melts a little better, but the brown gives you that nice crisp and that sort of burnt flavor. That's why I like using a combination of both. And then kind of smooth it out across the whole thing so it's pretty even and not too thick. Okay, so there is the sugar before it's burnt. Okay, now hopefully some of you have a cute little butane torch in your kitchen that you can use to torch it with. We happen to have one and it's not working, but we do have this. So this is gonna be our torch. I need to go light it. Okay, here we're gonna torch it. And you burn it just enough so it melts, not so it's like black. It melts pretty fast. Depends on how much brown and white sugar you have. Make sure you get all the edges. That's about it. Then it hardens up. Okay, so after burning the sugar, try. It's good with the sugar topping. And the ice cream texture is really good. It's a really tasty ice cream, but it doesn't taste like creme brulee. There's too much spice in it. I should have stuck with the original amount of spice I added. At the last minute, I doubled it because I thought it was going to get diluted with all the egg. And that's not the case. It's too much spice. It tastes like it's a nice spice ice cream, which is delicious, but it's just not what I was expecting. So I think this would be a success if the amount of spice I put in was cut in half, maybe? Something like that. But all in all, it is It's really good. It's tasty. I was just a little disappointed in the overall flavor. But I keep eating it. So there is a non-creme brulee ice cream. But it does show you too that you can burn sugar on top of an ice cream just like you do a proper creme brulee custard.